Hi, it's Linda Fox. I'm Senior Reporter with PhocusWire. I'm in the studio here at the World Aviation Festival and we're in partnership with Pros. Delighted to be joined by Jon French. He is Director of Strategic Partnerships for Hotelbeds.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Not at all. Now, Hotelbeds at the moment is talking about this $2 billion opportunity for hotels through the airline distribution channel.
Yep.
Talk me through what you're saying there.
So we see, it's difficult to get precise figures, but I think roughly you see reports saying there's about $100 billion sales of ancillary revenue. So either air ancillaries, the seats, the bags, and the non-air piece, the more traditional hotels, insurance, etc. that airlines sell today. From our data, what we see, there's about 700 or so airlines, commercial airlines flying globally. There's around 120 where we see they have a relatively good-sized leisure segment for us, at least, to address in terms of numbers of passengers, where they fly, and how they can attach hotels or sell packages to their existing customers.
Because EasyJet is making a big play for leisure hotels at the moment in Europe, isn't it? It's
Yep.
about to launch its new leisure platform, I believe.
So we've been working with them, running Easy Holidays for a number of years, they're making a lot of investment in this area, and we're excited to be a part of that.
So that will help your cause as a business, but overall in terms of the message to hotels.
Yeah, absolutely. I think when you can talk to a hotel about an airline that flies, 5, 10 A320s, 2 or 3 380s into a destination where they're located, or if it's a small chain, a number of hotels they have on these occasions, it's an easy discussion with the hotel, right? It's the type of customer they'd like to have. Mm-hmm. They cancel less often. They tend to stay a longer duration. If it's part of a leisure trip, than a domestic traveler.
So this is, I think you say you have about 40 airline partners at the moment. Is it a new-ish strategy? Is it something you've always done? What's the kind of ambition for it?
I think Hotelbeds has been working with airlines for probably 15, 20 years. From an old school white label, we started with EasyJet in 2004. But we've been providing things like call center transfer services to airlines for probably 15 or so years. So this is really an evolution of that. So it's more around us seeing an opportunity and investing more in our solutions that we give to airlines, whether it's the white labels, the widgets, adapting our API for airline customers, or more recently our kind of dynamic packaging platform, which we run with EasyJet Holidays and now Singapore Airlines, and we announced Luxair this week, which is essentially a bigger integration. It's essentially setting up an online tour operator for the airline, mm-hmm. right? Which is something where we think there is definitely interest on behalf of the airline, and it works for us and our hotel partners.
And would you say that the hotels generally are grasping the opportunity, or do they see it kind of like, oh God, another intermediary?
I think it's difficult for hotels to work directly with airlines, unless you're one of them, perhaps the larger chains. So I think for them, it's an interesting distribution channel. It's not something that they need to go and get directly. It's quite difficult to do that. But it's a non-competing channel for them, in the sense that these are customers that are either just booking a flight and they have the highest intent to purchase a hotel straight afterwards, or they're buying a package at the same time. So I think it's a great channel for hotels, and one that we see maybe the increasing interest, I think, over time in terms of how they adapt.
But I mean, it's non-competing, but there is a commercial impact in terms of commission, or maybe it's a different model. What is the model there? Is it purely commission driven, or are there other models?
We work on a number of models. I mean, we're as you know, we're a B2B company, so we have net rate models, commissionable models, bar rates. We work on a number of different models with our hotel partners. So it can vary by airline, to be honest, whether it's a commissionable white label or it's a net rate model for packaging. It kind of varies by airlines. But I think you look at the kind of the general costs of acquisition today. It's generally a pretty decent one for hotels to distribute through.
The idea of this as a distribution channel in terms of closed rates is quite important right now, isn't it? Because of the wholesale rates that are getting out to the market, and there's quite a hoo-ha about that. So just talk us through why this could be quite a nice avenue. Absolutely.
I think as you know, the hotel prices, rate parity. Same with airlines. For hotel only, for flight only, is increasingly commoditized market. So packaging per se, when a hotel bundle or when an airline bundles, or either at the same time or cross-selling, is really, at least from my perspective, the last frontier when it comes to you can make some price differentiations because it's opaquely priced. The customer isn't going to see the hotel price; they're not going to see the flight price. It allows both parties to flex in that sense and differentiate and make something a bit more compelling that they would otherwise be able to do.
And in your experience, are customers generally in the frame of mind of booking a hotel alongside in that same path as their airline?
I think you get different views from different airlines depending on, I guess, their customer base. So we have some airline customers whose most effective way of selling hotels is sending an offer directly after the customer has booked a flight within hours. We see other, not just airlines, they're like Expedia, who are incredibly successful at packaging together at the same time and showing the customer the value of booking two things together at the same time. And I guess it depends on the type of trip, right? So this is more leisure-based than corporate-based, and if customers are going to book a hotel anyway at some point of their trip, then why not book it together?
Okay, and what's it like actually knocking on the door of the airlines?
I think most of our customers today are kind of travel agencies, OTAs, so we're quite well known in that space. Airlines is something that we're working a lot more on, kind of coming to events like this to create a bit more brand awareness. But I think once airlines understand that we're not just going to be providing a vanilla white label to them and a commission check. It's more about partnering with them on creating some value for their customers. It becomes a bit more of an interesting conversation. There's a lot of discussion here about the average net profit for airlines being, at least according to IATA, around $6 per seat. So if you can start adding things onto that, all of the airlines have this ambition of being better at retailing, getting more direct business. This allows them to do that. So it's definitely more of an interesting conversation.
And do you think hotels are also in that same kind of frame of mind of being better at retailing?
I think so. Yeah. Of the hotel partners we speak to, is one of the feedback we get from is it's one of the most interesting channels for them. So they're happy to collaborate with us, but also for us to kind of partner with airlines on some specific contracting, specific exclusive deals for those particular airline customers. So it's a win-win.
Jon, thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much for your time.